Hello, I'm back after a very long time, and I just want to say I read some books. I didn't like them, and I had to stop halfway and start other books, and so it's been a whole thing. Um, but I'm not here to talk about that. So, if you give me a minute to rant, let me just tell you, I just filmed a whole review with the camera the wrong way. So it was like straight up in like portrait, I guess, like this and I'm pretty irritated with myself, so don't mind me. But getting back to the review, I read A Court of Silver Flames, the big chunk book by Sarah J. Maas or Moss. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced. And you will see me mispronounce a lot of character names here and all that stuff. It's gonna happen. That's just, I'm sorry. So I read the first book a while ago, I think a year ago at least. And I did continue the series and I did read the rest and I made a review on the first book. And didn't make a review on the rest of the books just because I didn't see the need to. Um, if it if anyone wants to see a review, I guess I could do it, but I didn't see the need to make a review. So I didn't. This one I decided to read and make a review mainly because the main character changes. So this is like a whole other perspective because it's from a different character's perspective, Nesta's perspective. So I decided to go ahead and read it. I kind of really didn't want to read the book initially because I didn't like Nesta as a character from reading her and character show up in the previous books. I kind of thought she was a little annoying and I was not a fan of her that much. But I decided, okay, I'd go ahead and give it a shot, and I read the book, and I can say I did not force myself to get through like the whole chunky, almost 800 pages of this book. I read all of it on my own, and it was actually really good, and it's actually great to see a character develop. Like Fa- Feyre, her perspective of everything. You know her perspective, how she sees Nesta, all that kind of stuff. And now from Nesta's perspective, you kind of see how she sees the world because she's new to all of this. And it's actually really nice to kind of understand the character, especially because she was a character I didn't really like, and to go in and see things from her perspective and understand her. And you see a lot of her working through trauma, working through what I think is depression. She has a lot of anger issues, all these different types of things that she has going on, and how she kind of overcomes it, along with, her insecurities. Um, Through the book, it's like a gradual process throughout the book, and it's not like a linear improvement that you see, which is like obviously even in real life that's not the case. That's not how people work. And so it's nice to kind of see her develop through the book. And I actually really liked that. There were a lot of reviews that I saw online after reading the book, that kind of a lot of people didn't like it. They didn't like Nesta's character, they didn't like the world building, they didn't really like the random creatures or characters that showed up in the book, and kind of like those types of things. And a lot of people say that her writing, the author's writing, is kind of the same in all her books, which I can't really say anything about because this is the only series I've read by her. I have not read her other series yet. Mm, I think I might read them. I probably will give it a shot, but like I didn't see anything wrong with the series. The land thieves that showed up, I think they really did represent kind of in the beginning she like had trouble getting away from it, and then all of those things happen. um I felt like it kind of represented her development and that she can do a lot more than she thinks she can do, or she's a lot more than she thinks she is. And the reason they don't show up in the rest of the book, personally, I think is because there's no need to have them there. Um, I do like the way she develops her characters. I do like how all the characters have like a reason for being there and they're developed. I think my only I guess my only concern, I guess, or thing I didn't like is the main plot of this, the whole point of the villain being there. She kind of, there's no development of the negative side of the story, the villain in the story. Which I'm assuming is, she put a villain in there to fight and have like, a goal at the end of the book, because, making a whole book about just the development of one character and trying to like grow that character may be boring to people. I'm not quite sure. But I think maybe the conflict area of the book could have been developed a little bit better. But I also understand the book is pretty big, and if you're going to do that, it would be even bigger. So maybe breaking it up into two books would have been better in that way. But overall, I was definitely invested in the development of Nesta, and I actually really like that. And yeah, I disagree with people who say that they didn't like the book or it wasn't good or that she writes the same way in every book. Um, she might write the same way in every book. I don't know. This is the only series I read, but I enjoy her writing. I really like the way she's built this whole world of all these different courts. Um, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'd recommend it. For people who didn't like Nesta, maybe give the book a shot and see what you think about it. Because I think I still find some things about her not very likable, things that I personally kind of wouldn't do or don't really like, but at the same time, I also understand her point of view, and I think I have a lot more compassion for the character after reading the book. So, I liked it and I would recommend it, and I guess that's about it. Bye.